Testing, 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 testing. How we looking? Yep, it's the first live. Yep, it's the first live. All right, I see we have a couple of people in the chat. Just giving some people a chance to get in here, but as from what I can see, uh, is everything okay as far as the sound, the clarity? You know, drop a one in the chat if the sound, the clarity is good. So I know that I know that I'm on point here. Drop a one in the chat if the sound, the clarity, you know, drop a one in the chat if the sound, the clarity is good. So I know that All right, I'm on point here. All right. So thank you guys for coming, and let's have a conversation. How do we get into cybersecurity, right? How do we get into cybersecurity? Well, that is a very simple and complex question. You know, um, when you look at cybersecurity as if you would look at many professions. However, the one main difference before we get started is in the career of cybersecurity, you want to make sure that you are as certified as possible. Third party certification is vital in the business of cybersecurity. That is why certifications is a big thing in this space. That's why education is such a big thing because when you think about it, right, the heartbeat of many companies today, as we become more and more dependent on information technology, is the data that they hold, right? The data that they hold that's everything. Look at Tesla. Look at all these things. The data is their main their goal, their lifeline. Without that data, they have nothing, right? So being that the data is their goal, their lifeline of the company or companies, Fortune 500, you name it, what about shouldn't the people who is protecting that data be as certified and as knowledgeable as possible, right? You wouldn't give the lifeline of your company or the protection of the lifeline of that company in the hands of just somebody who taught themselves, right? So uh, that is one of the reasons why, and I'm gonna, give you a going in depth as far as why certifications and are important and things of that nature. Certifications are important. You don't want to be you know, and it's kind of complex, right? And here, it there. Let me know if I'm confusing you. Yes, teach yourself in some ways, and here's what I mean. Teach yourself in some ways. What I mean by that is, let's say there is a tool, a hacker tool. One of the favorites is Kali Linux, right? So yes, teach yourself programming and cloud and things, but don't stop at, okay, I taught myself this hacking tool or this cloud environment, this and that. No, you have to get certified. Okay, you have to get certified to show employers, or if you want to start your own company or business, that you know what you're doing, because data is gold. We are living in the time where data is gold. Data is gold. So One of the things that I've noticed on this channel that gets somewhat of a big craze is penetration testing, right? Penetration testing gets like a big kind of thing. So let's start with penetration testing, right? Let's start with penetration testing. And forgive me if, I'll do my best to look at the chat and make sure everything is good. So don't mind me. I'm just, every time you see me do this, I'm just looking at the chat to make sure that things are good. So let's talk about how to become a penetration tester as of this year. And please keep in mind that one of the things about cybersecurity as far as getting into it is understanding that each role, no matter what it is, evolves each year. So how to become a penetration tester this year is not the same as how to become a penetration tester in 2025. Now you may be asking, why is that the case? Now, here is the reason why. And Angel, hey Angel, yes. So I'm going to get into the first steps in the courses. Just stay tuned, okay? I got you, Angel. Now, a lot of people think, what? It is not the same. Why are you may be asking, why is it not the same? The reason being is the weapon of an ethical hacker or penetration tester is the tools. This year might be Kali Linux. The next year might be another tool. So the methodologies and how you carry out a specific role evolves year after year. Technology becomes, it becomes more and more advanced. Skill sets change. So don't think, once I'm a penetration tester, I'm gonna be that. No, that's not how it works, right? Because now companies are starting to introduce AI. So now the skill set and the roles and what you do as a penetration tester is going to evolve, right? Because for the longest times, companies were functioning without EI. So that's just an example. So don't worry, Angel, I got you. So let's talk about a penetration tester. Now, here's the thing. You want to make sure that when you're picking out a field in cybersecurity, that it fits your personality and what suits you best, right? You want to be comfortable in the sense of, because typically the more comfortable you are, the better you will perform. Now, what I mean by that, if you are someone who, maybe your skill set is more technical, you're not the kind of person that, loves social interactions like that, you're kind of to yourself, then a role like a penetration tester might be for you, because you're in the home or you're in a cubicle, whatever it is, and you're kind of by yourself all day, trying to find vulnerabilities in systems. That may be your fit. Or if you are someone who loves to communicate with leadership of a company or people, then you might want to be more a consultant, a cybersecurity consultant or something like that, right? So make sure that you're using things that kind of fit your personality in a sense. So penetration tester, we talked about how it's not the same year after year, and penetration testers are typically more to themselves as personality wise. So there is a huge difference between a penetration tester and a criminal. Now, there is an umbrella called ethical hacker. In that umbrella of ethical hacker is penetration tester. Ethical hacker, you can think of it as a legal hacker, right? So a penetration tester, basically, to put it in simple terms, they act like a hacker, right? They get into the mindset and they act like a hacker, and they see, what are some of the things that I can exploit? They're basically ahead of the hacker, right? They are, whether it's them in their companies, right? They're exploiting vulnerabilities in their companies, or they're just, they just do bug bounties or things like that, right? But penetration testers are ethical, legal hackers that act like criminal hackers to ensure the fact that companies are as safe as possible, right? Um, they penetrate and they communicate and they say, hey, by the way, we're vulnerable here, we're vulnerable there. You might want to patch this, you might want to fix that, right? And so, Angel, yes, they get every information they need legally because hacking is one of those slippery slopes to where you can go to jail. You can face legal consequences, right? So there is ethical hacking and there is criminal hacking, right? If you if you just penetrated a system of Google or whatever without consent, that's illegal, right? You can't just hack somebody's system. But if you work for Google and you are on payroll, etc., as a penetration tester, your job is to find exploits in the company so that you can warn your leadership, management, where we're vulnerable and where hackers can exploit. There's totally different things. Yeah. Yeah. They test the vulnerability out themselves. They test it out themselves. So, and in regards to courses, Angel, there are two courses that are really good for ethical hackers, penetration testers. You have Hack the Box and Try Hack Me. I covered it in my, I have videos about Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. Please take advantage and look at those videos because they're as close to real hacking as possible. You literally get to act like a hacker. They have tutorials, they have things of that nature. Hack the Box and Try Hack Me, those are two prime tools to learn hacking on an ethical boundary. Okay? Yeah, on an ethical hound. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy. Thank you. Yeah, you know, well, I'm here to teach Algebra 1, Mr. Peters. I'm here to teach, right? So let's further get into penetration testing, right? Let's further get into it. So you want to make sure, and this goes for all things, right? Yes, there are different things that people talk about on, but on my channel, I want to, try to be as honest as possible. Remember, data is gold, right? So if you want to become a penetration tester, you're going to hear me say this a lot in this live, third-party certification. You want to make sure that you're going to a university that has a good reputation or better reputation, good or better reputation in the cybersecurity space. It's just that simple. You want to make sure that you are going to university to acquire a bachelor's and or preferred a master's degree to show that a third party respected institution validated your skill set in penetration testing, ethical hacking, you name it, right? Third party certification is vital in the space of cybersecurity. That's just what it is. So, one of the first things that you would do as a penetration tester is doing research, seeing, and research is part of ethical hacking because you're going to be researching vulnerabilities. So to get those researchers fluids flowing, right, to get those research juices flowing, you're going to first research what universities, public or private, have good or better as far as a reputation in the cybersecurity space of what I am looking to do. That's the first thing. Once you have identified it, then apply, and really you should have more than one, right? Have a collection of schools, universities that are prime for what you're doing in cybersecurity. You get accepted, now it's time to be mentored, right? Take advantage of relationships you have with teachers. Take advantage of relationships that, is there someone, join as many programs as you can, as many hacking clubs, programs as you can. Like, get in the field, because two things are very prime in cybersecurity. There is knowledge and there is applied experience, right? So to really set yourself up to really succeed, you need both. And we're at the point now I'm talking, which is the applied knowledge. That's what you're going to go to school for, to get third-party certification. And you don't even have to wait. As you're getting your bachelor's and master's, get some certifications, right? Get the CEH. Research what certifications are prime for what you're going to do, right? For example, let's get into it. I'm going to show you some of the things that you have to do in real time, right? Which is research, right? So let's look up the Angel. What are you trying to be a penetration tester, Angel? Let me know what you're trying to be, Angel. So let's look at some things for a penetration tester. Certifications wise, there is the CompTIA Pen Test Plus. This is one of the prime certifications to get as a pen tester, right? No matter what field you are in cybersecurity, you're gonna have to get some certifications to buffer up your skill set and to show you are third-party certified. Now, let's look at the CompTIA Pen Test Plus. On average is about $400 as the exam fee, right? Because it's an exam that you're gonna have to, pass, and it may take you more than once. Please do not get discouraged if you, fail it the first time. However, look at this: the average annual salary, right? This is a key performance indicator of what companies are willing to pay for people with the CompTIA Pen Test Plus, which shows you the value of being third-party certified. The average annual salary for the CompTIA Pen Test Plus is $102,000. That is average. And remember what I talked to you about, the CEH prior? That exam fee is $1,200. And typically, and this is by the EC Council Certified Ethical Hacker. Typically, the higher the exam, the more companies are willing to pay for that precise certification. And let me also say this: you don't need 15,000 certifications, but you need 2 or 3 heavy hitting certifications, right? Now, the EC Council Certified Ethical Hacker is, companies are willing to pay about $103,000. Now, Angel said he wants to get into programming. All right, let's pivot. Let's pivot. Now, one of the first things that you're going to want to do, and I'm doing this because this is a real world example. Angel, I'm going to tell you this, right? I'm going to tell you this. Now, let's get into it. You said programming, right? So let's talk about it. You said programming. So I'm going to give you some of these schools, right, that have prime programming programs. Say that 3 times, Mark, right? MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. This is a powerhouse in obviously the technology space, but cybersecurity space. MIT in Boston, can't go wrong with that. You have, and look, Angel, you wanted this smoke, so I'm giving it to you, right? There's Princeton, Cornell, there's the University of Pennsylvania, University of Texas, Austin, Harvard University, Rice University, and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. They have very good programming programs. These are the kinds of ones that you're going to want to get involved in and do research on. Now that we have identified some of the universities that are good at that, right? Give me 1 second. Yeah. So now that we have identified the universities that are good in that, now let's look at certifications that, because it's a step process. And I'm sorry, I'm still going to get to penetration testing, but I just want to help Angel out. So here are some certifications that you're going to want to have on top of what we talked about, the Rice University and the Georgia Tech, the MIT. This is something that you're going to want to pay attention to, Angel. So let's get into it. When it comes to programming, Angel, you're going to have to learn what environments are you going to want to get involved in, because every company has a different environment. One company might be using AWS, another company might be using Oracle. There are different environments, right? So you're going to want to make sure what are some companies that you want to work for. And once you have identified those companies, you're going to want to figure out, okay, these top companies that I want to work for, or the companies in my mind, they're using this environment. So learn that environment, right? Get ahead of the curve. So now that we've discussed, cloud and, the universities and this and that, here is some prime programming certifications. And just to give you a hint, Angel, AWS is one of the most popular environments that companies are using. AWS, right? So you have the AWS Certified Developer Associate, and then you have the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate. Those are two certifications that I highly recommend you get, because AWS is well recognized as an environment, and a lot of companies are using it. And then you have the CompTIA Security Plus. We talked about that a little bit, the pen test, and then we have Oracle. So Azure and AWS, these are some of the most prime these are some of the most prime ones out there. Okay? By the way, Angel, what companies are you what companies are you considering to work for? Oh, you're personally working for MIT? Hey, good job. No, Angel. No. MIT is prime. MIT is prime. MIT is prime. They are good. They are good. They are good. Oh, thank you, Mr. Pierce, for that super chat. Oh, great. Yes. Oh, thank you for that super chat. But Angel, look, MIT, look, they are prime. You cannot go wrong with that. If you're on the fence, let me be the first to tell you, they are prime. They are prime. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So let's get back to the penetration testing. This kind of piggybacks off of what we talked about as far as hands-on, right? When it comes to being a penetration tester, you're going to want to know what environment and what tools that you want to use, right? And some of the things that, an entry-level position in penetration tester, they're often support desk, help desk, right? That's one of the most prime roles to get, started in a penetration tester career. Support desk, help desk, those kinds of IT roles, right? And if you're not able to get, just straightforward a help desk or IT roles, then you're gonna have to do some massaging, right? And what do I mean by massaging? You're gonna have to go the route of internships or programs, and you're gonna have to find somebody who knows somebody. You want to get in, you got to know somebody that knows somebody, and you have to be able to be at a position to where you're willing to work for free, right? You got to find somebody that knows somebody. So uh, help desk, get your foot in the door, and remember, part of being a hacker is research, right? Research. So research the companies that is going to maximize your skill set as a penetration tester. Just like colleges, right? Just like certifications. Everything is research. Research. What certifications are prime for a pen tester? What colleges or universities have have good or better pen testing programs that stand out of the pack? What companies typically develop great penetration testers? Research. So, are you guys feeling me on this? What is your favorite what is your favorite uh uh penetration testing tool? What is your favorite penetration testing tool? Hey, good afternoon, OG Classic. Thank you for coming. So let me walk you guys through the line for example. An entry level penetration tester might need to have some experience in Burp Suite, understanding of web apps, understanding of TCP networking exposure, and mobile apps, and about 1 to 3 years of experience. That's for an entry level. Then you start to get into intermediate, because you're not just going to come out the gate swinging, guys. Intermediate, obviously 3 years or above as far as experience. Education, like we talked about, education. And then as you get more and more, guys, you're gonna realize that you're gonna not only you're gonna become more and more developed as a penetration tester, the more skills and environments you acquire, right? So a junior penetration tester, maybe they only know Burp Suite, but an intermediate is gonna have to know Burp Suite and this and that and this and that. Knowledge, guys, and research. For example, typically in the cybersecurity space. Okay. 2 final semesters of the network infrastructure degree. No, OG. No, OG. I'm not going for it. No one is ever too old. No one is ever too old to get. No one is ever too old. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you this. OG. I'm in the cybersecurity space, right? I'll tell you like this. There's a lot of people in the cybersecurity space that pivoted later in their career. It's more normal than you realize. It happens all the time. It might be a 35-year-old, right? That their whole life they've been a trucker. And they learn to code. They learn PHP or C++ or Python. They learn to code. And they pivoted. It happens all the time. And OG, another thing you have to take into consideration is everybody learns their way, right? So just pick an environment that works best for you. Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We back on. We back on. No harm, no foul. We back on. No harm, no foul. Uh. Oh, by the way. By the way, OG, because I cannot disclose too much, but I am in the healthcare field. I'm only going to give you that much, OG. I'm only going to give you that much. I'm in the healthcare field. So it seems you found the right one, OG. It seems you found the right one. I am literally, I've been in the healthcare field ever since I've started cybersecurity. I've been in the healthcare field. So I help hackers from not seeing, data. But OG, it's my job, right? And I'm gonna be doing more lives, guys. So please bear with me. There's gonna be some technical hits, but I will get better. But OG, I'm here to tell you, bro. Listen, it happens all the time in cybersecurity because cybersecurity is one of those things to where it's becoming more important, and a lot of people are starting to get curious. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, man. And thanks for the sub. And also, OG, refer, because one of the reasons why I'm starting these lives is because it's one thing to get recorded, but it's a whole nother thing to. I want to get close to you guys. We're gonna maximize learning everything that comes with cybersecurity. We're in this journey together. But OG, look, man. It happens all the time. People pivot into cybersecurity all the time, and not only do they pivot, they're excellent. So just you're good. Look, hey, OG, we welcome you with open arms. Man. Welcome to the cybersecurity world. We need you, big dog. We need you. So let's get back into it, guys. Because look, I don't want to bore you guys with getting into the nooks and crannies of it. But just in a nutshell, when it comes to penetration tester, you're gonna have when it comes to junior entry to intermediate to senior, you're gonna have to have more and more skills developed and acquired. That's just the bottom line. So we talked about penetration testing, which is basically you're gonna have to, and this goes for, like I said, the other ones. For those who just joined the chat, right? And please hit that like button, guys, and share this live. So if there's someone out there that wants to get into cybersecurity, they can learn how to get in. So it's very important, guys, that you understand there's a trinity. There's a trinity that you will need, in my opinion: experience, education, certification. Experience, education, certification. Let me say that one more time. Experience, education, certification. And with that being said, you're going to need research on top of that, right? Research to figure out what are the best certifications, education, and companies with the experience that can take you to the next level. So Angel wants to be a programmer. He's going to have to figure, and I'm using him as an example. I'm using Angel as an example. What open source operating systems are out there? What distributions are out there? Which ones are the companies that Angel wants to work for using? Because you can be an excellent Kali Linux person, right? But the company that you want to work for is using Ubuntu. You can be using Kali Linux, but the person you're working for is Ubuntu. Am I saying that you're wasting your time? No, because as many skill sets are, you know, I want you to have as many skill sets as possible. However, listen, you want to stand out, right? You want to stand out of the pack. The way you stand out is, especially in cybersecurity, because remember, we're protecting the gold, the data. We're protecting the gold, the data, right? So when they're looking at your resume, they go, oh my gosh, he's already experienced and he's certified in the open source operating system and the environments that we're using. We're not going to have to teach him much. We're going to have to teach him our culture and how we want him or her to operate in our culture of our company. However, the technical skill sets, he or she already has it. So you've just leaped ahead of so many people. And here's another thing. Here's another thing that one has to take into consideration. Here's the thing that one has to take into consideration. Cybersecurity is a very technical space. It's highly technical. We talk about pen testing and operating systems and programming languages and all this. It's a very technical, computerized space. However, to get into cybersecurity and not only get into but excel in it, one of the things that is not as talked about enough is the soft skills required. Soft skills. Now you might be asking, what do you mean by soft skills? Because you have to make room for the fact that you're constantly talking to people who may not be as tech versed as you, who may not have the knowledge of Ubuntu or Kali Linux as you. Because again, it's one thing to know, it's one thing to have experience in, but remember, we're talking about getting into cybersecurity from a corporate structure or starting your own business, whatever the case may be. You're going to be talking with people who are not as tech savvy as you. So being able to communicate technical skills, technical feedback that you have learned and acquired to someone who may not be as tech versed as you and may not care to be as tech versed as you is very vital. You're going to be talking with clients, you're going to be talking with people, or you're going to be mingling with other divisions in the company, and having those soft skills, having that ability to communicate at a high level, make things very easy to understand from someone who's not as tech versed, is a skill set in its own. So you're definitely going to want to learn how to talk to people, how to smile, how to be a team player, how to carry a conversation, how to make people feel good, how to make people feel protected, because that's ultimately one of the reasons why you're here, is to make people feel protected. These are the soft skills that you're going to need. These are the soft skills that you are going to need. Anybody has any questions? I thank you guys for rocking with me today. Oh, hey, OG. I already know what time it is. Yeah, you worked at a call center. Yeah, And OG, that's why we need you. That's why we need you, OG. That's why we need you because hold on. Okay, we back on. We back on. We back on. That's why we need you, OG, because like I said before, you have experience in working at call centers or things of that nature. You're going to be look, in cybersecurity, we're somewhat on an island to ourselves, right? The majority of the world doesn't know cybersecurity. They don't know Kali Linux and, pen testing and net hunter and hacking and stuff like that. The majority of the world may not know malware and phishing and things of that nature. We're the ones who do, right? So with that being said, one of the ways to not only get into cybersecurity but stay and maximize is the ability to have soft skills and communicate to people who have zero or a very low percentage of what technology is and how to function with it, and also make people feel protected, make people feel safe, make people feel that you are here to help, you are here to provide a service, you are here to make sure that their data, their gold, is as protected as possible, right? So let me just read the chat a little bit. Okay, Angel. Yeah, that gives you a huge leg up. Yep. Studied psychology, so you understand how the human brain works and this and that. Because at the end of the day, people, and I'm gonna say this before, because it's very important that we understand why we are here. We understand why we are here. We are here to protect companies, protect infrastructure, provide guidance, provide support, provide service, right? That's what we're here for. Why join cybersecurity if you're not here to protect systems? Add that level of service in the world. Be the shield to those who may not be as tech savvy as you, and protect them from an IT infrastructure standpoint. Because whether we like it or not, AI is here to stay, computer is here to stay, virtuality is here to stay, right? So with that virtuality, I don't even know if that's a word, AI and all these advancements, they're gonna need OG. They're gonna need people to protect their systems. So this is my first live, guys. It's been such a pleasure. It's been such a pleasure experiencing this first live with you guys. Just I'm gonna give you some nuggets before I go. Uh, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button, and also as I'm doing these lives, please share them, because at the end of the day, uh, I work for you. You guys are my boss. My subscribers are my boss, and I want to provide that level of service to you guys so we can get that communication going, so we can learn how to maximize everything that is cybersecurity. So some of the things to look forward to, guys, is not only am I going to be doing these live streams more and more often, but I'm going to have a range. Because here's the thing, guys. When you are inside, one of the things that it doesn't matter, penetration testing, whatever the case is, one of the things that cybersecurity enthusiasts must have in their back pocket is keeping up with tech news and tech trends. So one of the things that companies look for is because you need to know what is happening in real time in the space, right? A penetration tester who has skills and knowledge and all these things, and a penetration tester that has skills and knowledge and all these things too, but also knows and keeps up with tech news and sees what things are evolving in real time, swallows this one 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, it swallows that one. You have to keep up with tech news. You have to keep up with things that are happening in real time so you can learn and adjust to say, okay, hackers are now able to exploit this. So now as a penetration tester, you're going to say, oh, okay, so let me figure out how to do this to get ahead of the curve. Tech news and things of that nature, you got to do it. And being that that is the case, not only am I going to do live streams on topics like these, but I'm also going to be doing live streams as far as tech news. What's happening during the week? What are the stories that we must know, that we need to know? How is the landscape changing as far as how hackers are exploiting networks, servers, vulnerabilities, etc., whatever the case may be. So I'm going to be having live streams so we can discuss and get, and I'm going to be looking for your opinion, right? I'm going to be looking for your opinion as far as what, for example, you know what? I'll just do this one story here, right? I'll just do this one story here. I'll do this one story here. Bear with me, guys. Let me just go and let's just get a feel here. Oh, and by the way, guys, one of the to keep up with tech news and tech trends, there are some newsletters. Some of my favorites are TechCrunch, right? Give me 1 second. Are you guys familiar with TechCrunch? There is something called TechCrunch, and there is a website called Ars Technica. Let me see if I can put it in the chat for you guys. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you guys. So there's TechCrunch. And there is Ars Technica. So these two things, guys, are very these are tech news websites to where you can keep track of trends, right? So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is we're going to be covering some of these tech stories, right? Tech stories that matter. Let me say that, right? AI, robotics, anything that can affect cybersecurity and how we view it and what we need to prepare for as ethical hackers, cybersecurity consultants, etc. You know, I'm going to be having these live streams so we can be well versed and understand and be on top of the news, what's happening now, what we have to prepare for. And please, guys, like I said, you guys, my subscribers are you are my boss. So please let me know if there's a story that you want me to cover, right? If there's a story you want me to cover, if there are, just anything. Right? If there's anything that you want me to cover. Like one thing, and I'm gonna say this before I go, guys. One thing that you have to pay attention to, and you can see that I've been covering it more and more often, is the Huawei, right? When I first started covering it, I kept saying Hawaii, right? And we mess up sometimes. I pronounced it wrong. I said Hawaii, but the way you correctly pronounce it is Huawei, right? And this is basically a company that is quote unquote, not me, but reportedly well known for copying and undercutting the prices. And one of the things about the Huawei is it is outperforming as far as sales reportedly Apple and all these other, in China and other things. So these are some of the kinds of things that you got to keep track of and learn. Okay, Huawei, why is it? So I'm going to be having these live streams so we can learn and understand what's going on. So, you know what? Yeah. So, guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. This is the first of many lives, and you guys, OG, you are a part of the Hack Pack. Angel, you are a part of the Hack Pack. Okay, make sure that you keep up with my stories, my videos, and just keeping track. Is there anything else before I go, guys? We good? All right. I don't see nothing in the chat. So it's a pleasure, guys. I'm going to be doing this more often. This is not the last time. So thank you.